Welcome to the official opening of Charlton Manor's radio station. Today we have the pleasure to welcome Dave Berry, who just made the official opening of our school radio station.
What inspired you to become a radio presenter?
Well, firstly, hello and thank you so much for having me on the show. You are the most talented bunch of radio DJs I've ever seen. You're much more talented than Pandora and Bassman, to name but two, and it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you very much indeed. These are the same lights that we have at Capitol. Sorry, what was your question? What inspired me to become
a radio presenter?
Two things. Firstly was a love of music, and secondly was a love of the sound of my own voice. So if I can play music and talk all day and have people come and bring me tea, then it's the perfect combination for me and a dream job. I'm sure the same applies to you, right? Yeah, there you go.
How did you feel the first time you presented on Capitol Breakfast for such a large audience?
Well, thank you for picking up on the audience figures there. We are #1 in London by a mile. Obviously, you guys are in at #2 in the ratings chart, so that's excellent. Well done. I felt good, actually. I'd had experience in radio before. My first ever radio show on XFM, I was very nervous. And I used to hang on to my producer. That was my thing. He was like my little safety blanket. He was like my night-night teddy bear. I used to hold on to him while I was talking on the radio. He's got all kind of bruises and claw marks on his shoulder. But by the time I got to do Capitol Breakfast, I kind of felt like I knew what I was doing, and I just really enjoyed it. And it was nice to be able to play music and talk at more people than I were before.
How hard is it to get into this kind of job?
Well, I think it's very difficult, but I think certainly what you guys have done here at Charlton Manor School is going to set you out on the right path. I think this gives you an advantage at an age and a stage in your life when you're going to be well ahead of the curve, as the saying goes. I think that you've kind of been using the faders there, using the buttons. You've got the screens, you've got your mic technique down, you've got your volume buttons. So I think this is going to put you ahead of anybody else wanting to get into radio. So it is difficult, but if it's something that you wanted to do, I think you've certainly got the right facilities around you at a great time in your life.
What skills do you need to learn in order to be a radio presenter?
What skills you need to learn to be a radio presenter? You need to be able to not crash a vocal. Do you know what that is?
Like your voice cracking?
No, it's like when a song starts out as an introduction. So it might have a 7-second introduction. So it's important that you all learn how to be able to say your name, the name of the radio station, what the song is and who the artist is in the 7 seconds before they start singing. Because nobody wants you talking over Taylor Swift singing her song. Because even though you guys are big stars, no one's bigger than Taylor Swift. So that's one skill. And also be very lovely to your colleagues. Always be very nice to everybody you work with. That is the most important thing you're ever going to learn.
What is the most satisfying thing about your job?
The lazy radio DJ in me would say finishing work at 10 o'clock in the morning. But the most satisfying thing, I think, is to be able to connect with the audience. That's another skill I think that you should acquire, and you should learn, you should hone, and you should work on, given your new facilities. It's really nice to be able to reach out to people, get them on your show, be able to communicate with them, to be able to ask them the right questions, which you're doing brilliantly with me right now, and be able to kind of delve a little deeper and find whatever it is that's interesting, whatever it is that's funny. And I think, if you get to do that every day, then it's a real blessing.
In Charlton Manor, we are leading the way in using cooking in the curriculum. What are your thoughts on using cooking as a way to teach literacy and numeracy?
Well, I think it will work brilliantly as an aid. I mean, it was my New Year's resolution this year to cook more, and obviously there's lots of ingredients and lots of recipes from around the world, using words you might not read in books. So you're kind of opening your mind up to kind of different words, different pronunciations of words. Then, of course, you have to get all of your quantities right. So, as far as numeracy goes and working with the numbers, I think it works really well. Plus, at the end of the day, you've got something to go home to. So, for example, you haven't tidied your room. Your mum, your dad, your parent, your guardian, they're livid, and you just go, "Mum, there's a chili con carne I made at school." You're back in the good books, right? You're learning to read, you're learning to write, and you haven't got to tidy your room for at least another 2 days. So, well done.
Finally, what advice would you have for young kids who are thinking of following a career such as yours?
Don't grow a beard. It looks really scruffy when you're being photographed and you've been welcomed onto it. Are you planning on growing a beard? Are you growing a beard like mine? No? Are you growing a beard? No, okay, I'm going to grow a beard. So don't grow a beard because you look silly. What was the question again? Sorry, I got onto facial hair. Could you repeat that for me, please?
Finally, what advice would you have for young kids who are thinking of following a career such as yours?
What a fine question. My advice would be, and this applies to everything, but certainly with me getting into what I do now, you have to work very hard. I got up very, very early, all of the time, and I went to all corners of the country, and you have to be able to accept a knockback, because not everything is going to go your way in life, particularly not in this industry, and you have to be able to be strong enough as a person to go again. And if you apply yourself and you are willing to go again, eventually with your skills, with what you've learned, with your education, you will get the break that you deserve, and then you can come and meet people like yourselves. And you can grow a beard, and you're going to look great with a beard.
Thank you for your time and answering our question.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm really proud of you guys. What a wonderful show, what incredible facilities. Give yourselves a round of applause.